Traditional local football slot, which takes a break for the summer, unless you're talking about what league everybody's going to be playing in next season. So we could be here all summer at this rate. We're still awaiting an official announcement over which of our local teams are playing in which league. As usual, the whole thing's muddled. In fairness, Lowestoft Town may well have let the cat out of the bag, as they announced on their website a few days ago that they've been placed in Ryman League 1 North for next season. Their chairman is Gary Kazor.
Yeah, the announcement on Tuesday with the confirmation that we're actually going to be playing in the Ryman Division 1 North next year is absolutely superb. To me, it's the icing on the cake for all the hard work which has gone on the field and off the field over the last season. Everywhere is buzzing, everywhere is excited.
These things are never clear-cut, are they? But was that the ideal scenario? Was that the league and the division you wanted to be in?
For the last 3 months, we've been lobbying with the FA and different people. The Ryman League was the only league we would accept. The option was possibly going to be the Southern League, which realistically was reachable due to the transportation costs and the venues of some of the places. Yes, a lot of people have been down to the FA. Our local MP, Bob Blizzard, has been lobbying different people, and we got the right outcome at the end of it.
You talked about transport costs, which are obviously going to be greater, but you can manage them, can you?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, you know, every week or every other week we're going to be going away, but yeah, they're manageable. You know, they're definitely.
And also getting players, because it's an extra commitment, isn't it, these longer trips?
Yes, it is an extra commitment. Mick Chapman and AD Gallagher have had a meeting with all the players and told them the club's intentions, you know, and at the moment, as far as this goes, they're all happy to continue with Lowestoft Town Football Club and pit their own selves against higher opposition.
Exciting times.
Yeah, very much so, definitely.
I mean, a few years ago, of course, the club did win the Eastern Counties League, but that wasn't the right time to go up. You clearly feel that now is the right time to make the step. Yeah, I do, personally. I came on board about 7 months ago, and it was always my intention to try and take this club further. They've sat where they have for 100-odd years, and I was ready to take it forward. And it's happened, you know, the dream has come true within the first 3 months. I was speaking to someone this morning who felt that Lowestoft Town should at least be at that level, because there is the catchment area, there's the fan base, and an awful lot of other things in place.
It is, it's all there, you know, the fantastic fans, the stadium, you know, the players, the way we won the league this year and the cup. Obviously we just missed out on the Vase, but there is so much potential out at this club, and I'm excited to be part of it. A
fantastic challenge for Mickey Adey and the players.
It is, it really is. It just, they can now prove themselves, and then we can take it from there. But you know, we'll try and go again. You know, we haven't gone on to level 4 to stay there. You know, we'll be working all season to try and jump up again. So I think it's the Premier, the Roman Premier.
I mean, roughly, how much turnover will there be of players this summer, from what Mickey and Adey have said to you? How much will they have to strengthen the current squad?
I honestly don't know. We haven't sat down and got that far yet. But I mean, that's in their hands. That's their job. You know, that's what they're there to do, and that's their decision.
I saw some stuff from one of the local papers earlier on this week, and you were talking about Histon and the Histon model, if you like, and where they've come from and where they are at the moment.
Exactly. That's what, you know. That's what you've got to aspire to. You know, 7-9 years ago they were in the same leagues we just come out of, and look how far they've took it. So anything's possible. Where
can Lowestoft Town be then in 7 or 9 years?
Well, I think we're at the same position as Histon are now.
Absolutely, yes. That far up the pyramid.
Well, we'd like to think so. You know, the enthusiasm is there, the stability is there. Let's go forward. The exciting times ahead. Start of a new era for Lowestoft Town Football Club.
Some ambition from them. That's their chairman, Gary Kazor, talking to Brenner. Great news for the Trawler boys then. We still don't know the fate of AFC Sudbury and Bury Town, though. Sudbury applied to return to the Ryman League, but they've been told there'll be no announcement over the rest of the league setup until next Tuesday because of unresolved issues, all sorts of things happening around the country. It means AFC's manager, Nicky Smith, has a lot of planning to do, despite not knowing the outcome.
I've got 2 lists at the moment. One, you know, if we're still in the Midlands division for player-wise, and one if we get back to the Ryman League. So, you know, I've spoken to players and they're unsure, and we're unsure where we are at the moment.
But the majority of them presumably would like to play in the Rymans, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously with the current climate and obviously the travelling and everything else, it'll be ideal. But, you know, we'll face up to whatever league we're in and give it a good go.
Bury have opted or want to stay where they are, but I suppose there's a possibility they could get moved if you and Lowestoft both go in there into the Rymans. They could as well, couldn't they?
Yeah, they could do. I mean, I've spoken to Richard just recently, and they're optimistic they're going to stay where they are. But, you know, so we've appealed to go back into the Ryman, and I'm just hoping that, you know, that is the way forward. And, you know, we get told as soon as possible.
You'd miss your local derbies with Bury, though, wouldn't you, a bit?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've always spoken to Rich. He's a good friend, and we'd miss them games. With Soham as well if they remain in the Midland Division. But the club's looking to progress. With the off-the-field activities. We want to pursue that on the field as well.
You mentioned two lists of players, Nicky. Is there much difference between the two?
It's more geographical, really. It's obviously for the Midlands Division, I'm looking more Cambridge-based players rather than sort of London-based players. So there is a bit of a difference, and it's tying down them people who want to do the travelling. But I'm optimistic. Whatever league we're in, we'll have a decent side. We'll give it a good go.
Yeah, will there be much change? Are you hoping to bring a load of players in, or just sort of continue to trickle in?
No, I mean I've got a squad that sort of signs about 9 or 10 at the moment, and I am looking to bring sort of 4 or 5 in to boost to what we had last season, because I want to be at the right end of the table and doing the right things and having a good go. That's
Nick Smith at AFC Sudbury. Tuesday, they say, is the date when we're likely to find out exactly who's going where, and we'll obviously let you know as soon as we know. Staying with lower league football, and former Needham Market boss Mark Morsley is returning to the club. He's agreed to become their new general manager at Bloomfields. We spoke to him yesterday, and Brenner admitted that with Needham having one of the best setups at that level of football, he was struggling to see why they need a general manager.
I think it's a very good point, and I think the thing is that to pinch Danny's phrase, the club need more like-minded people, and the thing is that I've always wanted to be involved in ambitious clubs, and unfortunately, since I left Needham, perhaps the two clubs I've been at, perhaps they didn't quite say what it says on the tin or do what it says on the tin, and the attraction was that the 3 years I had at Needham were the happiest 3 years of my career in football. I know the people there are honest people. I know they're ambitious, and I know they want to move on, and I think it's important to want to be a part of that. The thing is that what the club have done is they've realised that they need, some experience and drive in other areas, and in many ways, nothing will, although my brief is to have some involvement with match days and with teams, the team itself, that situation won't change because obviously Danny's there. We've said what a good guy he is. You've got Kevin Horlock on board. You've got a good coaching staff in place. But maybe the club feel that they need something a little bit extra just to help them up to the next level. And if I can bring that, then that's good for me and good for Danny and the club.
Extra in terms of finances, will you be investing?
No, I mean it's that whole situation is always completely taken out of kilter. What I am able to do is I have contacts in the business community, and I mean I'm not going to lie to you, we haven't even discussed that but the fact of the matter is that I've been fortunate enough in the businesses I work with support me, and the whole thing is that businesses support me because they want to support something which is successful and where they're getting good coverage as sponsors, etc. Because to be successful, businesses want to be associated with success. Needham Market, without any shadow of a doubt, is the success story in the last decade in non-league football. I don't care what anyone says. We started something and Danny's taken it on to fantastic heights. So yes, there are people I will be talking to, and yes, because we're at a level where finance is important. We are a semi-professional club. Players get paid, and and not just the wages, but also the other things that are required to improve what we've got. I think it's a possibility.
Looking from the outside in, as you are at the moment, how different is Needham Market in 2009 to what it was in 2006?
Oh, blimey. That's a question and a half.
Do you think they've moved forward in the last 3 years?
Yeah, you can't measure what they've done. I mean, at the end of the day, what myself and the guys who were with me achieved. I mean, we were fortunate. We got a great sponsor in the Winstring Company when we were there before. That company has stayed on board. It's a fantastic support to the club. They brought Danny in, his coaching ability. What all I achieved really in the main was I put Needham on the map in terms of people knew the name. What's happened since then on the football side with what Danny's done, and then obviously David Budd coming in as chairman, and himself and the people around him. I mean, it's totally unrecognisable. I mean, it's. I always said I wanted to be the biggest non-league club in Suffolk, and